Morning to you all. Yeah. I'm definitely an odd one out today here. No? With all the glitter and gold that I see a lot of a prince and a princess around us today. No? I'm very glad to be part of this morning today here. It's such a privilege for me, like it's an honor to stand in front of our future leaders, no, who are parting from the university shortly. No? Now here, as you come to an end, your journey as a university student, it's indeed a big moment to celebrate yourself towards a new beginning, right? The theme talks about commemorating yourself towards a new beginning, and definitely it's a day to celebrate your success, your hard work that you have paid off in studying in the university, and to celebrate a new journey and a new beginning as you move out from the university. Now, I should say, as a bit older than you, a little bit, I think, no? Now, definitely, older than you all. The real life challenge begins now, okay, no? The challenge to stand on your feet, diving towards the cutthroat competition that is on the way, the challenge to choose a job, the challenge to settle down in terms of choosing life partner. This is a very difficult, challenging, another task coming to in your way. And the challenge to a new beginning, indeed, in all aspects of life, right? Now, in all of this new beginning, this needs a very wise decisions. Definitely seeking wisdom from God and taking a guidance from parents and elders are something which is a very prerequisite. And definitely your hard work, patience, and perseverance will take you through the new beginning. Now, today, as I have been asked to exhort the university students who are going out from the university in a short while, I was thinking what to say also, right? But then, as you have been in the university with your respective teachers, I believe like throughout the past 2 years, you have been receiving so much of guidance and so much of what to do with your life, how to go about. That must have already been discussed and talked multiple times with your respective teachers. So I will not, I thought that, general exhortation must have already been given by your respective teachers. So let me not touch upon that. But as a clinical psychologist myself, the only input that I can motivate you today is to encourage and remind you the issues and importance of mental health. Okay, no? Now here I can see some of my students also. My students, they have already been, listening to this topic over and over again. And it's like today also I'll be talking something like in a psychology class. No, so for my students, they already know all this, and we have been discussing all this. I believe they are, in a better position to equip themselves with what I'm going to say. But definitely for other students also, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really wish that you take care of your mental health also. No? So that's the main theme that I'm going to talk about here. Commemorating your new beginning, I want you to have an insight on what's the importance of mental health in this cutthroat competition, in this era of, where there are going to be a lot of stress up and down in one's life. Now, here, World Health Organization, we all know about, has repeatedly published articles and research outcomes that says that the more educated, the more mental health issues, okay, no? So people who are less educated have better mental health, no? That's one very important research outcome given by WHO, and they say that those who are more educated, they have more mental health issues, and those who are less educated, they are living in a very blissful life because they have very less mental health issue, right? And that is a very huge takeaway in this generation or not, because in this generation, we have all started doing a very aggressive formal education where we have become somebody who are termed as educated, and the more educated we are, the more we are exposed to different kind of educational environment and different kind of competition, the more mental health issues we will have. So it is very likely that the present generation must have higher mental health issues than the previous generation. No? So we see around, like for example, in my experiences also, that earlier maybe like our parents' age like that, or our parent generation, awareness were also very less, and of definitely the competition, the level of the stress, the level of how people go about looking out for job were much milder than the present generation. And we see that a lot of youths, especially among the adolescents, they report a lot of mental health issues, and these are something very concerning, yet it's very, very good that we are coming to this awareness and seeking mental health support also. Okay. Now, to look at mental health, when we talk about like, whenever you get injured physically, right? Like all of us might have experienced having injured physically, isn't it? No? So whenever we get injured physically in any parts of our body, like we take good care of that injured part or not, right? Until it gets healed, we take good care of it, no? But the important question here is, what about the injury to the mental health? No? Now, neuroscientists, if we see the research, then neuroscientists, they say that brain shows the same signal for both physical and psychological injury, okay? Our brain, it shows a very same signal. The stress response is same to the physical injury and the psychological injury also. So here the question is, now, are we taking the same care of our mental health as of our physical health or not? No? So that's become very important issue here. Now, World Health Organization again repeatedly gives out this report till now that 1 in 4 persons have mental health issues. Now, 1 in 4 person here, I see, maybe I was asking how many seat intake is this, and your mates were saying it's around 450 seats here. So I'm expecting definitely 450 to 500 students here, no? And the World Health Organization says 1 in 4 person have mental health issues at some point of our life, no? So 1 in 4 person. Now, when we talk about this mental health issue, we think that, oh, we are not somebody who are mentally ill, like I'm not having any delusion or hallucination, or I'm not having panic disorder, so my mental health is fine. I think we have this notion that mental health issues are to do with people who have become really mad, no? And then they are not in the right mental state and like that. But then we're not only talking about that, no? Mental health issues can vary from many different, mild to moderate to severe symptoms, which all of them are very, very important to take note of. Like for example, I also undergo a lot of mental health issues, no? We cannot guarantee our physical health. Likewise, it's the same with we cannot guarantee our mental health also, okay? So in the coming days, some of you also might undergo mental distress also, isn't it, no? So this is where it has become very important to understand and become aware of what is our mental status. Now, discussing mental health has become very, very important because mental health is more than the absence of mental disorder, okay, no? So we see that people who are mental disorder, we are categorizing them as somebody who needs to go to mental hospital, or a psychologist or a psychiatrist who have lost their mind, who are in not touch with reality, and those are extreme, definitely an extreme cases. But then we need to know that if we are having any mental health issues, then we need to seek out for professional also. And let's see what is mental health then, because they are saying, World Health Organization is saying it's more than the mental absence of mental disorder. That means mental health is not just about if we are not mentally ill, we are mentally healthy. It's not only about that. No? So let's look at that. Now it says that mental health, it is a state of well-being. No, it's a state of well-being among an individual when an individual realizes his or her own potential, number one, can cope with the normal stresses of life, number two, number three, can work productively and fruitfully, okay? And number four is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So these are the four criteria where you can be called as a mentally healthy person. No? It's not just an absence of mental disorder. But if you do not have these four criteria fulfilled with you, then World Health Organization will have a question mark on your mental health. They might not say you are not mentally healthy if you are not able to do these four things, okay? Now here, I keep asking my students, and they are now, maybe by now they have explored a lot. They might have contemplated a lot. What are their potentials? But then I would love to ask this to the outgoing students also, since you are already about to get a degree of your master's and now you're moving out to look out for job, isn't that? No? This is a time where like you'll finish your work, and definitely some will come back to do research, but majority will go out and look out for job, right? Now here, as you look out for job, like you'll have to see that you are having a good mental health also or not, no? And when you look out for job, very, very important thing, the first one, the definition of mental health talk about realizing your own potential, right? Now, how many of you like are aware of your talents, or how many of you know what you are good at, or you know that you are good at this and you want to do this job? How many of you have already realized that one? No? Because realizing that one will also talk about that you are mentally healthy, right? No? Now, many a times I ask my students also, and they keep smiling. I don't know that I think they are very good at studies only, and they are not good at other things, or I don't know, because the response is very less, no? But then I'll keep asking this. I will ask this to all the students also today. Do you know where your intelligence lies? No? Do you know what you're good at? What your potential are? No? Now that's a very, very important thing here, okay? Because whatever job that you choose will determine your life satisfaction, job satisfaction. It will affect all the later aspects of your life. And you need to know really what you're good at while choosing the job. Now, when we talk about realizing our potential, then we are talking about realizing where our intelligence is. Now, for a layman, they will talk about intelligence in terms of receiving formal education, no? We might say that in school, when we were studying, like those who got top, for example, the NBSC result also just recently came out, and those top 20, wow, so intelligent, like that. Sometimes in layman words, we use that word, like for individuals who excel in their academic performance, we call them as very intelligent person. But then as a psychologist, we will not call that as, we will not term that. We will term intelligence as very different from receiving the formal education. People who did not have formal education, like our grandparents, our forefathers, who doesn't know ABCD also, they will be considered as very intelligent person, okay? Because intelligence is something which is a very specific area. Like for example, you have a very good intelligence in arithmetic or verbal or comprehension or practical intelligence or musical or bodily kinesthetic. So all these areas like intelligence tests check at all these areas very differently. No? So then here intelligence means the ability to acquire and apply the knowledge and skills, and it can come from, it has a two contributing factor, like it's a combination of inherited skills and environmental contribution. No? So what you are good at, your potential, your intelligence, has already been determined by your genetics also. No? You have been carrying that from your gene also. You have inherited that, plus the environmental contribution from which background where you brought up will shape what intelligence and what potential that you have also. And when you identify what you are good at, for example, you're very good at arithmetic, you're very good at verbal comprehension, no, you're very good at bodily kinesthetic, or you're very good at spectral orientation. For example, to be a surgeon, somebody has to be very good at spectral orientation, isn't that? They can't miss out like no what they see and their hands, what how their hands will operate with what they see, the spectral orientation, no, that should not go wrong, isn't it, for a surgeon? And that is a skill, that is an intelligence which will come from, which the person will already inherit or not. Because that expertise to be a surgeon, to cut that part very precisely, no, to do an operation very precisely, that skill is something which somebody has to inherit also. That cannot be practiced, no, or not. That cannot be just practice and practice and practice. We can't just keep doing autopsy every time, isn't it? No, we can't just do that practice. It has to be inborn skill also, right? No. So here, it's very, very important when you are now looking out for job, what job to choose. You need to know where your intelligence lies. For example, like you're very good at verbal comprehension, then I'm sure you'll be very, very successful being a teacher, or you'll enjoy definitely, right? And if you're good at arithmetic, for example, you might do very well in a business world or in a banking sector where you can use your full potential and you can be very productive there, no? And when we know where our intelligence is, that's how the creativity will start blooming there, right? Creativity is a use of imagination or original ideas to create something very novel or new, and that will come only when the individual know where the intelligence lies also. Now, not knowing where our intelligence lies is a very, very dangerous thing here. Now, because most of in our society till now, because of lack of employment opportunities, parents push youths for competitive exams, isn't it? Now, I'm not against that, right? My family members also, all of us, we look forward for that, and then because that's the only opportunity that is there in our land, so we look out for that. But then, one needs to know really if you have an administrative potential or qualities in you, no? To look out and to give out for those exams, right? Or else it will be just a waste of time or not, no? Spending 4 or 5 years giving out, trying your best for exam, but you know that you will not be able to perform the administrative duties, no? Then that is something which you will have to, have a double thought, no, on what you are going to pursue, okay, no? Now, if we rightly can identify where our intelligence lies, we will definitely enjoy and flourish in our work also, right, no? Whatever profession that you choose, I'm very sure you will flourish in that. We can be productive and fruitful, and this can lead to job satisfaction. Now, as a psychologist, we do a lot of research on how satisfied people are in terms of their job satisfaction, and then research says that people who are satisfied with their job, this leads to life satisfaction in general, isn't that, no? And then in my personal research also, people who are satisfied with their life had a very huge impact on their ability to be a better parent and execute better parenting role when they become parent later. And here, like all of you are sitting here, but after 5 years, definitely half of you will get married or not, right? After 5 years, definitely I'll see some of you around with children, isn't it? No, or like me, having a baby in the belly, girls, no, and boys also will have sleepless nights when your wife starts getting pregnant, no. So all this, it's a chain, right? You know what you're good at, what your potential are, and you choose that job. Then that job, you will go for a job. Like, for example, we are in the university as a teacher. We go for our job every day, no? And I will be, if I live through, then I'll be in the university till 2050, isn't it? Till I reach 65 years, right? Just imagine now 2022 and 2050, till 2050 I'll be in Nagaland University, no? If I don't die before that, no? Then every day I'll go to my job, and if I don't like my job, for example, because I don't have potential, for example, I don't have verbal ability, my comprehension is less, and I'm a person who is a very quiet person, introvert, and I want to just like this job only, not talking, then till I reach 65 years, I'll be doing that job. Won't that affect me or not, right? I will not have, if I don't have job satisfaction and I go to job every day, that will definitely have impact on my life satisfaction, isn't it? And if my life satisfaction is low, then researchers show that we don't perform parenting role good also, no? Like, and then parenting is something where you have not experienced, but once you start experiencing that, that's the most, tough job, isn't it? No, because you are responsible for somebody. Just imagine, you will be responsible 100% for one person's life, isn't it? No. So then, to perform the job as a parenting, no, it needs a lot of courage and strength and so many things. Where, like, if you're not satisfied with your job, that will affect your life satisfaction. That will affect your parenting role also, and that's it's a vicious cycle here. So being able to know one's potential can lead to choose one career better, which can lead to a job satisfaction, and this job satisfaction can lead to an overall life satisfaction, and it can lead to a better parenting role also. So you need to master both the parenting skill and working skill here, right? No? So here, mental health, like we are saying, I'm describing about this mental health, but World Health Organization, as they're saying, you need to be productive, you need to know your potentials. Now, if you know your potentials, you'll be very productive in that work. Nah? Whatever job that you choose, you will be productive and you will be happy for that, right? You will not, drag yourself going to work. You will enjoy going to work yourself, isn't that, no? So, once you know your potential, you can be productive, and you should be somebody who will be able to cope with the normal stresses of life. Normal stresses of life can be like 4 semesters, for example, no? Going out and then you are too stressed out giving your exam. For example, the exam is coming up, no? These are normal stresses of life. Now you will be going out and you will also search for job, sit for competitive exams. All this would be considered as normal stresses of life, okay, no? And you will have to cope with that, no? And then once you become a parent also, parenting is also a part of normal stresses of life again, no? It can be overwhelming for some, but these are all considered as normal stresses of life where you will need to be able to cope with that. And lastly, World Health Organization says, you should be somebody who should be able to contribute to your community and your society, okay, no? So don't forget this, okay, no? These are like a piece of advice, but these are the criteria for an individual to be called as mentally healthy also, no? So if you are considering yourself as a mentally healthy person, you should be able to do all these roles. Now, whereas if we see on the other side, mental illness is something where it's a wide range of mental health conditions that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. So, example like depression, anxiety, eating disorder, sexual disorder, addictive disorder, all this comes in the area of mental illness. No? Let me take some few time again here discussing a little bit about one issue which has become a very, very hot topic these days. No, digital addiction. No, or we call that as internet gaming disorder. No, this has become a huge concern for parents or not, right? You might not be indulging in that, but for now, the parents and elders, mobile phones have become allergic for them or not. Your parents do scold you for looking at the mobile phone for a long time or not, right? The parents are really freaking out this generation, okay? Because they are like every parent, or for example, like sometimes I'm asked to speak in a mother's group, father's group in a church or like that, and they give me such topic like, please talk about mobile addiction, please talk about this digital addiction. No, we really want to know about little bit. No, now here, as an educated generation, there is a slight shift in the presentation of pathology also. Okay, as shifting from substance addiction to non-substance addiction. If you see this, no. In our earlier generation, like our seniors generation, there were a lot of substance addiction people in our community or not, right? No, especially in all over the world, there was a substance. The pathology was more on towards the substance addiction. Like you could see people having alcohol addiction or drug addiction. No, a lot of like that. But now, with the educated generation, there is a shift from substance addiction to the non-substance addiction. And non-substance addiction can be something like, having an internet gaming disorder or gambling disorder, like that. Now, the diagnostic criteria have a similarity with this substance use disorder and non-substance use disorder also, okay? And we need to keep a check here because internet gaming disorder, this has become a huge concern for the psychologists also, and it is coming under the category of behavioral addiction, no? So let it be like, for example, we need to differentiate between the use of the digital or the internet or our mobile phones. We need to divide, we need to know whether it's a pathological use or whether it's an optimal use, okay? Optimal use can be, see, for example, if you are being recruited in the bank, then from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, you'll be glued with the computer screen only, isn't it? Or not? Because every transaction now is with it's to do with the digital transaction only, right? Now you are in the screen for like 8 to 10 hours a day, but if that is for a productive work, no, and that is for something which is official or educational purpose, which is productive, then we will call that as optimal use, okay, no? But then, if somebody is using that much hour for non-productive work, then that can be called as a pathological use, no? Like for leisure activity or for whatever reason, somebody is using that for non-optimal use, then that can be called as a pathological use. And we need to know here, like for any mental disorder, like let it be internet gaming disorder, let it be a substance disorder, use disorder, or let it be any psychological disorder, whatever that you're going through, like where you might have gone through some depression or anxiety or internet gaming disorder or anything, you need to know very well that whether your socio-occupational functioning is hampered or not. No? If you are able to, your socio-occupational functioning, socio-occupational, there are two things. If you are able to socialize or not, if your ability to socialize have been hampered or not, if your ability to work, whatever you are assigned to work, like you as a student, you are expected to do your work, but if you have failed to do that, no? And if you have failed to come out in the society, like in the social gathering, so if these two things are hampered with any mental health issue, then it's time to seek professional help. Okay? No? We might not know many a times that what is the benchmark for when to visit a psychologist or when to visit counselor, like that. No? So the most important thing is your socio-occupational functioning. Okay? If these two are hampered, if these two there is, or among you, or among your family member, or among your friends, if you notice that these two things have started deteriorating, then it's time to seek professional help. Okay. Now, internet gaming disorder, this is not an hallucination or delusion like that, but it's a category of mental disturbances because it can lead to social isolation, depression, and it can damage multiple levels of functioning such as family, social, school, occupational, and psychological functioning. So that's why we need to keep a check on that. Now, I also want to emphasize here that one of the most important maintaining and contributing factor of internet gaming disorder is reporting poor relationship with parents. Okay, no? So you all have parents. You will also become parents someday. You will have to know that the parenting, how the relationship with parents, this plays a very, very important role in one's mental health. And here research also says that people who indulge a lot in digital or mobile or internet gaming disorder, these are individuals who are having a poor relationship with their parents. So I want to emphasize here a little bit on attachment theory about more, because as most of my research are on this theme, let me end with some quote given by John Bowlby here, okay? He talks about relationship determines relationship, no? And as all of you young adults today are the future parents, isn't it, no? Research says that today's emotionally deprived child becomes tomorrow's neglectful parents. Now, adverse experiences becomes internalized by a growing child in a way that leads on to further adverse experiences, thus perpetuating the vicious cycle. Now, it also says that the neglected psychopathic child grows up to become the neglectful psychopathic parent, a self-perpetuating social circle which is a vicious cycle of neurosis. But however, no, there is a light ray of hope here, okay? Research also supports that with concentrated social, economic, and psychological effort, society could reverse these vicious circles so that it may in 2 to 3 generations be possible to enable all boys and girls to grow up to become men and women who, given health and security, are capable of providing a stable and happy life for their children. Okay? Thus, mental health is a very important area to check on in this present generation. And I wish you all the very best in your future endeavor. Do your best and remember to check on your mental health. Let me conclude with one quote. No one is immune from mental distress. We all need each other and mental health matters. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Lovika P. Shikhu, for enriching young minds with your intriguing and thought-provoking encouragement.